Alright, YouTube, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel, and we are here for episode 5 of our Cyborg Racing My Team in Formula 1 2021. And if you guys have not seen the last video, please hit the link up here. Go watch that and come back. We had quite this series of events. In the last episode, we were at Monaco, you know, the Super Bowl of Formula 1, and we had to retire the car. The car was undrivable. We had rainy conditions on top of that, which did not help. I tried my best to finish the race, but it was painful. So it is a good video. Go watch it and then come back to watch this one. If you guys are new to the channel too, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and let's get into this video. At the end of the last video, one of our employees was letting us know that we might have to shut down some of our facilities just because we don't have enough money. But let's just go to this event real quick. So the team have requested Alessi's presence at a recurring meeting, but it conflicts with a couple of other items on their calendar. We know there are a lot of demands on their time, but it's vital that we have their input to aid our design. We should consider freeing up their schedule a little. So, we're focusing on the car. The car is the main focus. The driver is a focus, but not so much. So we're gonna clear Alessi's schedule and get him into those meetings to give input on the car. So we're gonna agree to that. In terms of money, we are able to sign a secondary sponsor now, so let's just take a quick look at that. We have a few options here. So there's a weekly income and a goal bonus. So every week we'll get a guaranteed amount of money, and then if we complete the goal bonuses, we will get extra money for that. And every contract has a certain length. So I'm just gonna read through them on my own, and I'll tell you guys which ones I sign with. Okay, so after reading all of the requirements for each sponsor, I'm thinking either this company, Uterp, or Zenetto. I don't know what is up with the pronunciations in this game, but Zenetto. This one, the bonus is really easy. You just have to answer 2 interview questions during a race weekend. So assuming that we do get the interviews after the qualifying and after the race, we should be getting that $144,000 bonus. I think I'm gonna go with Zenetto just because that bonus is very high, very easy to do, and the weekly income is pretty good as well. Looking at our R&D and our facility upgrades, we don't have enough money or R&D points to do anything. Let me just double check the R&D. Actually, you know what? Okay, so this was the part that failed on us last race, so we're gonna go ahead and develop that again. And we got another development failure. The development of upgrades above has failed. Review an upgrade to attempt development again. Do we have to pay for this? So we have to pay $225 for the improved materials on the gearbox. We're gonna go ahead and do that. That will be ready just before the Azerbaijain Grand Prix, so that's good. Now we have spent all the R&D and all of our money for our facilities. We can't spend anything else. We have 220 R&D points, $831,000 in our bank account, and we're at a level 5 acclaim. Just, I know you guys can't see it, so I'm just gonna say it verbally. And now we're just gonna go ahead and schedule some events. So we have a full schedule before the Grand Prix weekend, no days off this week for our team. And now we are ready to advance. Hopefully there's no failures. Okay, the barge boards came in fine. Reaction training went well.
Now where we're able to attract a new sponsor to the team. Head on over to the corporate tab and select the sponsor screen to choose who we should approach.
Okay, so we did do this already. we did sign a second sponsor, so we're just gonna leave that, and we're gonna go to this personnel department event.
Okay, now this is an interesting one.
So the F1 Paddock Pass is planning a new series where they go behind the scenes of various F1 teams, and they've asked whether we'd be open to them coming down to record some footage at Team HQ. Perhaps do some interviews with a few of the key figures. How would you like us to respond? So if we accept, we're gonna get a team acclaim of 1,000, and if we decline, we'll get 750 resource points. So this is like Drive to Survive. Netflix is coming in to interview us. I think we are gonna accept it. We're gonna need the money in the acclaim. Acclaim brings money to our team, and 750 resource points is not enough short-term or long-term, so we're gonna go ahead and accept this. With that 1,000 acclaim points, we will be able to get our secondary sponsor quicker, and because of that, again, you guys can't see, but we just hit level 6 acclaim level. So let's keep advancing the time. We got our weekly resources and the bills. Aero department focus meeting went well.
Developments to come through, but some of them have failed quality control.
And
We
our
need to tell a team what to redevelop via the R&D screen.
our tertiary wing flaps from the aerodynamics has failed just after we gave them a team meeting. So let's see if we can just redevelop these quickly. So 550, we only have 400 resource points, so we're gonna have to wait until next week to develop those, which is very unfortunate. And now we are ready for race weekend. So as usual, guys, I'm gonna skip the practice stuff and we're gonna head over to qualifying. All right guys, so we just finished the practice sessions. We were able to put up the 14th and 12th fastest laps in the practice sessions. In P1 and P3 we put up the 14th fastest, and in P2 we put the 12th fastest. So we are here at qualifying, and hopefully, given that it's a good lap, we should be able to start on the grid anywhere between those positions. Let's get this qualifying on the road. So here we go, and we are headed into turn 1. Right over the curb a little bit. Right now we are still in P1. I think we dropped behind. We are in P3 now, behind Valtteri Bottas. Back into P1, headed into the first DRS zone. Very long straights on Azerbaijan. Given that it is a street circuit, this is probably one of my favorite tracks to race on and watch. The Azerbaijan Grand Prix this year was pretty good. Just finishing sector 1, we do put up the fastest time in sector 1, so we're looking at a pretty good qualifying here, given that we don't fall back or anything. So headed into the castle section, and we freaking, oh my god, we hit the wall. I'm just gonna rewind it, guys, because I'm not trying to start at the back of the grid like Monaco. All right. And this is a street circuit, so I do have to focus a little more. So talking may not be as there may not be as much talking in this. So we fall down into P7 after a crappy castle section. We did not do very well through that turn. Headed into the final turns of sector 2, we fall into P10. So we did put up the fastest sector 1, and we kind of choke at the end there. I see Lewis Hamilton's ghost headed into the final straight, which I believe is the longest straight in the entire Formula 1 calendar, if I'm not mistaken. That's something I learned watching my very first Formula 1 race this season. So we are in P8, very good qualifying. Let's see if we can hold that. I think we fell to P9. But we start in the top 9 on the grid, much better after our disaster at Monaco. Very good showing for us. Let's see where Alessi finished. So we finished P9. We are behind the McLaren, Lando Norris, And ahead of the Ferrari, Alessi finishes 21st, putting up a 142.678. So we finished almost 2 seconds better than him. But let's get into the race, guys. It looks like we're going to take a quick look at the race strategy. So it's going to be sunny through the first 2/3 of the race, and then it might get wet towards the end. However, the weather is a little unpredictable. I have it on that like unpredictable setting. Our race strategy looks like we got 5 laps on the softs, then we're gonna pit twice, so it's a 2-stop strategy because we are in the front of the grid, and Azerbaijan usually is just a 2-stop strategy in general. But we're going to switch on to the mediums and then switch on to the mediums again at the end. And then possibly some havoc in the pit lane because of the rain. But let's get this race on the road, guys. So again, we are starting behind Lando Norris and Carlos Sainz. And here we go. Pretty decent start. We got to watch. We don't want to crash into anyone onto turn 1. Lando Norris, we are wheel to wheel, and we are able to pass him on the first turn. Sergio Perez ahead of us now, and we kind of want to watch our step as we head into turn 3 there. Lap 1 in these city circuits, they are always very interesting. Lando Norris is going for the overtake. I'm not going to challenge that. So he is going to pass me. We drop back down to P9 where we started. McLaren probably does have that power on the straights. There's no DRS activated right now. Lap 1 of 26. We do have the long format here after our episode 1 being very short, 5 laps, and Monaco we could not even get to 5 laps, surprisingly. Or really not surprisingly. I don't know, I feel like something was wrong with the car because P1 of Azerbaijan here was wet, but I was able to control the car a lot better, so maybe it was a car issue. But Carlos Sainz is right up on our rear, and I have ERS activated just to hopefully create a little bit of space as we head into the end of Sector 2, and Lando Norris is starting to create a bit of a gap in front of us. We go off the track a little bit, only halfway though. That's okay. Headed into the final straight of lap 1. And that is Carlos Sainz behind us still. Lando Norris ahead of us. And the gaps are starting to be created here. We got a 1-second gap behind Lando Norris and only half a second in front of Carlos Sainz. Headed into the first turn of lap 2. So Cyborg Racing, after the debacle at Monaco, well, I don't want to jinx anything here. Lando's going to pull away. And our tires suffer damage. We lose a bit of time, but we are able to keep up with the pack. Okay. But after the debacle at Monaco, we are putting up a much better race. We started at the back of the grid at Monaco. We did not finish at Monaco. Alessi, I believe he finished in 20th or something like that. Hopefully a little better. And I keep hitting the wall. And I'm just going to keep that. We're just going to box this lap, honestly, because hopefully the downforce on the car isn't horrible coming through these final straights. Oh my god. And we're going to have to get a wing change, but we are going to pit a lap early onto the mediums. So Lando Norris pulls away about 2 seconds per lap as we head into the pit lane. And hopefully we can gain some time back and we don't get caught up in all the traffic from the pit lane. So maybe this will work out in our favor. We will see as we switch on to the mediums here and a fresh front wing. And our pit stop time took 6.8 seconds, which is pretty good actually. So we kind of want to watch our tires at the first oh my god, we kind of want to watch our tires for the first few laps using these fresh tires. And Carlos Sainz does not finish. I think that yellow flag a few laps back may have been for Lando Norris actually, or Carlos Sainz. I don't know why I said Lando Norris, but now we do have a little bit of room on the track, so potentially we could put up some good laps here, maybe even a fastest lap if we're really lucky. So I think what's happening right now is that there's some sort of, or not some sort of, there's definitely a traffic jam, because we were able to gain about 2 seconds on this lap from the people ahead of us. And I think I saw someone going into the box there. Our teammate Alessi is in the pits. Yes, there are 1, 2, 3. I see 3 people boxing right now. And like I said, we put up the fastest lap. Let the tires wear in, you watch the magic happen, and there it is. We got the fastest lap. However, I do think one of the leaders will eventually top that. And we're gonna watch it here as we go into this traffic jam. We don't want to be slamming to the back of any cars. Possibly some overtaking here. We got to be careful though, because there's a few cars ahead of us, so positioning is going to be important here as we head into the final straight of lap 10. We're going to activate that ERS. Everyone is going to have DRS here. Oh my god, these cars are shaking. We got DRS and we are catching up, but there is no room for overtaking here. I'm going to be on the inside. This is a risky play here, and I overtake 3 drivers with 1 turn. Holy crap, that was beautiful. And we got DRS here. Yuki Tsunoda comes out of the pits. He is on fresh soft, so I'm wondering what strategy he is on right now. Oh my god, I could have dove bombed that corner. But this is some very close racing. I love Azerbaijan. It is one of my favorite tracks. We right over the curb. Crap, that might ruin our pace for the straight here. I think Lance Stroll might pass us. He's also going to have the slipstream. We're going to activate the ERS here. I just want to take a look behind me. Lance Stroll is right there. He's probably going to overtake us. I'm not going to fight him too much. Yeah, here he goes. But I see Daniel Ricciardo as well. We can possibly keep our position through the corner here. Ooh. And after 12 laps, we are still very close to leaders. And I was in the middle of a sentence, but I just dove bombed that corner. That was a split second or last second decision. And I'm able to dive bomb the corner to take P8. We are in P8 now, guys. But back into the race, we are on lap 12. Oh god, that was a horrible little mini chicane there. However, we are still in DRS range of Daniel Ricciardo, and I see 2 drivers head into the pits. That is Alonso and I believe Pierre Gasly. So we are approaching the pit window. They're going to pit a little earlier. We are in P5 currently behind Lando Norris. I wonder if he is boxing. He may not be boxing this lap, so we'll probably drop a few places here. Or maybe a lot. Yuki Tsunoda is in P5 and he's only 3 seconds behind. So we're definitely going to come out below P5. And like I said earlier, this is still a very close race. At least everyone in the points is extremely close to each other, given that we are just over halfway through the race. So here we go. We are heading into the pit lane for our second pit stop.
You'll be able to push sooner once these scrub tires are up to speed.
Okay, so we got Lando Norris pitting. I think that is Sebastian Vettel pitting as well. But all these drivers are beginning to overtake us. We don't need a front wing replacement, so our pit stop is going to be a lot faster. And we come out of the pits here. And we are the last team coming out, or the last team in the pit lane. So we are very close to the pit lane exit, and we come out in P12 behind Fernando Alonso, who boxed maybe a few laps ago. He is on the hard compound. So that is an interesting choice. And we are going to get rain soon here, apparently. That's what Jeff told us. And I think I just scraped the wall. Hopefully I didn't sustain any damage. I forgot what I was saying, but Fernando Alonso is defending me. But he is on the hard compound, so that is no match for my soft or medium compound tires. And we overtake him with ease, honestly. So we got Esteban Ocon, who is also on the hard compound. I don't know what strategy they were thinking of. Maybe their tire wear management isn't as good. So I think that was George Russell. We just got notified George Russell has dropped out of the session. I believe it was George, but it should say in the left-hand side of your screen when the broadcast camera view pops up who it was. I believe it said George Russell. Correct me if I'm wrong. But we are behind Esteban Ocon. We are going to get DRS here. I'm going to activate the ERS. And we should be able to pass it. Maybe him and Latifi. So I think Latifi is going into the pit lane. Esteban Ocon gets DRS. And I'm going to go to the inside here. We're going to go for the dive bomb. Oh, I'm sorry, Esteban Ocon. That was another dirty overtake. I apologize. Lewis Hamilton was putting up the fastest laps. He was a few spots ahead of me. So literally speaking, I did not see him. And I didn't see him anywhere on the leaderboards or anything like that. However, back to the race. We are right behind Kimi Räikkönen now. And we are definitely going to overtake him come DRS time. That castle section, I was literally just saying that our castle sections have been pretty good, and we come out with a crappy castle section there. Almost crashed into the wall there as well. The final turn to sector 2. But we are going to be in DRS range of Kimi Räikkönen, and we are going to be going for P3. P3, and I believe, so P3 is Kimi Räikkönen. Antonio Giovinazzi is P2, and then I believe Lewis Hamilton is P1. Okay.
We're catching the car ahead, but be aware that these tires need to last till the end of the race.
So heading into turn 1 on lap 21, we overtake Kimi Räikkönen, and we are in a podium spot, guys. We are in a podium spot. This could be Cyborg Racing's first podium. Our highest finish so far was at the Bahrain Grand Prix, the short 5-lap race, and there we finished P4. So no podium yet, but that could change here. We got 5 laps to go. If you guys are liking the video so far, hit the like button and subscribe. So Kimi Räikkönen, he is on those hard tires. I don't know what they were thinking with their race strategy. And honestly, I don't know how both of the Alfa Romeos are like in the top 5. I just took that in. Both the Alfa Romeos are in the top 5 right now. And that might have been our crappiest castle section of the session. And Kimi Räikkönen is able to kind of gain on us there. But we are just under a second behind Antonio Giovinazzi, and hopefully we have a good exit here, which we do, and we are able to stay in range. We are going to get DRS. I'm going to activate the ERS once I get past here, and then we're going to get DRS as well, and hopefully overtake Giovinazzi. So here comes DRS. Maybe go to the inside. Might have to stick to the outside. I don't think I have enough pace. Okay, I'm going to the inside. He's going to stick to the outside. And we kind of push him to the outside again.
Good job, nice overtake.
Okay, well, if Jeff said it's a nice overtake, then I will take that. So now we got Lewis Hamilton. I highly doubt we're going to catch Lewis Hamilton. So I think at this point we're just cruising to the finish. Okay, so we're on lap 22 right now, and we are starting to get a little bit of rain. So Jeff right now is saying we are still on the right tires. We may start to lose a little bit of grip. And I don't know when Jeff is gonna call for a pit stop, but I'm gonna be extremely cautious heading to these corners for at least the next lap, because I'm assuming it is gonna get slippery. So Giovinazzi is 2.6 seconds behind us now. Oh yes, yep. Just off the first turn there, I can tell we're losing grip. And I don't know when we're gonna box, or if we're just gonna stick it out and stay on these tires, because if the rest of the pack is gonna stay on the slick tires, then we might as well, because there's no point of boxing. We're just gonna lose all the places for nothing, you know. However, we are ahead. We have 3 laps to go, so a bit of a tough call on, so we kind of have to wait and see what the other teams do. Max Verstappen comes out of nowhere on the soft tires. I don't know why he boxed so late either. Oh yeah, you can definitely see we are starting to lose grip. We have to be very, very careful here. We got a lock up headed into the castle section. So we're gonna go and switch on to the intermediates. We almost spin out here. So we got Max Verstappen right behind us, and he may overtake us going into the pit lane. I don't know what to do here. So nope, he does back off. We have to be very careful going into the pit lane here. We don't want to cross on the speed limit, but Verstappen is right on our tail, and everyone looks like they are coming in for the intermediates. We don't need a wing replacement, so we should be able to beat Max Verstappen out of the pit lane, hopefully. We just have to get a good start here. Okay, come on. Played myself. Okay, we got a warning coming out of the pit lane. I had to rewind it because I flew out of the pit lane. We are in a bit of a harder situation, so good thing I had some practice good thing I had some practice driving in the wet. So this might pay off a little bit here, as most people are going onto the intermediates. And wait, hold on. Max Verstappen comes out with another pair of soft tires. What? It is like fully raining now, and Max Verstappen came out with another pair of softs. So was that like a pit mishap or a glitch? And we are headed into our final lap, and if we can just survive through this lap, we will have our first podium with Cyborg Racing. Alright, so final lap, here we go. Again, slow and steady wins the race here, but not too slow. We are 3.1 seconds ahead of Antonio Giovinazzi. Oh wait, hold on. Sebastian Vettel is overtaking Giovinazzi. So we are 3.5 seconds ahead of Giovinazzi, 3.3 now. Sebastian Vettel came out of nowhere. Maybe I was just focusing on Giovinazzi more, but I did not see him in the leaderboard there. But there's a driver's traffic still, which rarely ever happens in any race, that there's that much traffic at this point in the race. So head into this little chicane here. Just at the end of Sector 1, or Sector 2, nope, Sector 1, start of Sector 2. We head into the castle section for the last time at the Azerbaijain Grand Prix in very wet conditions. So we're going to take a slow, don't want to pull a Charles Leclerc. We almost hit the wall there. Oh god, Sebastian Vettel is gaining on us. I'm going to activate the ERS. We want to pull away from as much as possible. We don't want to be in DRS range. Lewis Hamilton wins the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Oh god. I gotta speed up here. Actually, wait, no, there is no DRS, but he is gonna have the slipstream headed into the final straight. So I gotta pick up the pace here. And we can't have any script. We might drop P2 on the final straight of the race. Oh my god, no. No flashbacks. Our race would have ended right there on the last lap. Oh god. Oh god, Sebastian Vettel is gaining on us. 8.49, 8.64. Okay, no, we are spreading out. So, come on. Okay, so we are going to take P2 and we're going to get our first podium with Cyborg Racing, man. Let's go. Let's just forget about the last lap, the last turn into the wall. Antonio Giovinazzi gets driver of the day? Okay, you know what? To be fair, he did start in like the bottom 5 of the grid. We started in P9, but we get a P2 finish. Okay, so just a quick look at the finishing standings, I guess. So we have Lewis Hamilton in P1, Marco Borg in P2 for Cyborg Racing, their first podium in history at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, my favorite track. And our teammate Giuliano Alessi finishes in P18 after starting in P21, which is pretty good. He moved up 3 places. Our claim level goes up, and we are now at level 4, and our team acclaim is at level 7 now. So after one very good race, we were able to kind of make up the ground in terms of acclaim for Giuliano Alessi, and we get $1.94 million after the race, compared to the last race where we only got, I think it was like 835K. So winning definitely pays more, you know. All right guys, so that is the end of the episode. Next episode we have my home Grand Prix, the team's home Grand Prix in Canada. Let's see what happens there. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you guys are enjoying it, if you guys want to see anything else, or maybe a change in format, whatever it is, let me know in the comments. And as usual, I don't touch anything after the race. I do all of the R&D and team management stuff before the race. So I will see you guys in the next video, alright? Thanks for watching, and peace out.